There is compelling evidence of aging farmer population in Ghana. Currently, the average age of a farmer stands at 55 years. The life expectancy is between 55 and 60 years. And this has become a major concern for the agriculture sector. Increased productivity therefore depends on the youth that constitutes about 20 to 30% of Ghana's active population. Their energy and numbers make it a tremendous opportunity for them to take over the sector and increase its productivity. So today on Food Chain, my colleague Emma Davids traveled to Goase to speak to some of the youth that are championing this particular cause and how international organizations like Fairtrade are helping this particular cause. My name is Prince Apia. Stay with us in this edition.
Jomo, nko kwa yeda pa
kama
di blessing beti me akire
pod le na gina season so so to kasia mani a chance na aye abre na afi so so we dan so in town to so bring ti nitimi enka actual month enyan sana edusa.
I hear this year the rains were too much.
Yes.
So how did that affect you?
It was too much although, but it did not rain early, and it has affected our farming system.
How long have you been farming?
10 years.
Then I'm cook you
for not we are for, but Jesus and then who say farming a punishment. But the fair trade at Aroma, boy pa me beti kudu ha. Ti me papa a committee na me dinachi. By then I'm 18 years. Yeah. Na my bro 18 years intina or kwa me dinachi kokiti bi. Ti e hwe nkyerɛkyerɛ no. A mo kyerɛkyerɛ me papa no ye papa ma kuafo na me hu say sa kua so a business. A kama pa. Na say me dim hu ra kuayi. Na me dim hu ra so me num hu say me kua ni. Me num hu ka.
In fear duni. Why you queer?
Yeah.
Ejuma bia challenges wom. Then challenges now what facing since you started here queer.
Say be queer no. Say o starting for na. Ska would be work here to be na e den kakra. Na initial stage no so no na enya hunim die papa. But nyame adom she a fair trade no. Ene ne nkofo a omo don ba betete ya nti no. Say ehunim die ndie yenya. Say challenge na ye wo pa ba ko ye enura na nke di begu afo no so. Fair trade adaroma. Say so yenya. Although enso die but oboa papa fair trade je ka se yeta sia yenkone.
Until then a fair trade here, almost subsidize the prices, almost reduce the prices, and I said, free for some time, and I said,
are you free? Mean cancer, are you free because you free be said fair trade premium, a hand a bar, na a queer for na transit. A bar near Shreddy, his can be a bay. Do na beko, I dream say, young Fabian Cotton a drew near Cotonia diaba, near Betcham, a queer for. Sana yana moyen
ekwekwo be na aboam e dey solve child labor e wo krom ha se ene Goase ni I
from penifo no so no o ma boy pa na Goase so to be bia invite bi muso ho ba ene ebedi hu enkomo child right for ne o mo makeka ho o ba be boy na o ma dia fa atitiem.
Inti fair trade amo role den wo child labor no. How are they supporting you?
Ba ko ne say roba ko mu pre ne say omo ba e betete yen the child labor say sitie ene so say medical kind e beba ana face o ma sa support yen say be betime yi child labor na de be ana yen ntime yi kra betime ateso
this year mo koko no mo ntime antene October. Because October na ya free tite no yeti koko.
Then
na udwen say ama we yesi.
Climate so can change aba. And sana misi kase ensuo no so no. Antontem. And so cocoa no so nyina beso a ejina nsuo so. De atakas Nyankopon ni kuani. And so na antontem te affect cocoa no so ne so no.
Nti we bo hwa da be na mbete.
Oh, by 2 weeks time there say what? Watch a cry by 2 weeks time. Once at 2 in a group by 2 weeks time. I say what? Because if you sabra babete na ukudua no so anya hoden. Say we bit my house of floor.
Shame send now wo from your personal perspective. How those things aboa.
Me. Because me kan yanko but you beka. Fairtrade de wa boy. Papa Fairtrade. I share omo. Yenhwe ade. Yamra education because I no so hu hia pa. Fairtrade ema ye ha no. Na enkwan school ko mu kra ye basa. Na awfo bi kra o hu senti aso de ne ba ko school. Tete a omo de maaye no. Sa ama awfo bia sorry o person ba ye de ko school. Na school for no so na exercise do so omo be twirem eho aye den ema omo. Afi nkwa bibia me wesisi e tema school for 800 copies 800 copies omo use o school mu ho ti school sector omo boy pa na me no kese last week nkwa ampo so ya be su school for bia like omo ni school atade ni school pa boa ye ho adwuma e de abre omo to no be encourage nkra no omo ma ye de akọ school school ho so omo ya de pa na to be so a share school for no e no kasa how omo fam o fie how mo fam o school mo say school ni bi fa how bi ma o ka kire me a e kwa be fa so bit ma abo na so bi bo ese ne awofo ne tenase bi na awofo no wonte asem bi ase bo ado waye nkwa no wanim to ne tenase echirechirim senti ase waye saade no senti dikwa so waye pe e bo ma kra so na mfa die e ma ne ba besu ade
okay aside school no dem
yanka so your life Fairtrade buy no improvement be bra buy na brabom asetenam improvement I dey aba yen starting free ye kuaye ne ye wo ha tete a omode be bra ye ewo afueye mu no say first in kukwa na kiyete no sisi ye ten bebre because ne ye ni biara but say no o ma kire tamasi egu ye afuo so e bra say ye do ho first nanka ye say uye kuani a afibia udo kuko 2 times but say dey fair to da me ati say ofuna ase efunkwa say ye dey be esa wodo onse wo hwe kuku ya se ya e kan do ya do kama nti ne ta yehu se aye pepepepe ne ya se ya de be ya do ho ti anu na boa makuku do ne enya hoden ena nuo no so de bre ya makuku no so ama ye sky de be atu ebotum.
So now before we talk about how farmers are getting through to marketing, let's understand how the extension services that prepares them for the market stands currently in Ghana. Now, according to records from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as at August 2020, agriculture extension officers stood at more than 4,000, a number that had moved from close to 1,500 in 2016. Now, extension to farmer ratio had moved from a little over 1:1,000 to current state of 1:700 and over. Though looking at these numbers, government has put in a lot of measures to address and close the gap. More needs to be done. That is why international organizations like Fairtrade International and the likes are serving as stopgap to address this challenge.
Cooperative Union, ye ekuafo nkuma a yaka ye ho aboma. Ye dom Fairtrade a ye kokọ ekuafo a ye dom Fairtrade. Na Fairtrade no ye share 2011. Our on the 3rd November 2011. And ye share boabo ekuafo nkuma a yaka ye ho abom. Ye kokọ ekuafo. Na ye de abefo kwa so ntete pa eye adwuma. Nti 2012 abra full set for be first meeting na ye pass ye na and omoma a Fairtrade certificate ye be a Fairtrade certified group the whole Ghana any kokọ akuafo a ye Fairtrade 20 12 up to date no yɛde yɛn ho dɔn Fairtrade no aboa yɛn kwa ahorow bebree na yɛdi nkan no aboa yɛn ama trainings a yɛ trainers no ɛne Fairtrade African for the ma yɛn no ama yɛhunu de ɛwɔ yɛku adwuma mu aburo ni bɛka sɛ good agricultural practices yɛde nhyehyɛ pa yɛde yɛku adwuma no egu akwam ɛnam so ama nkakane na ne yɛmɛdɔm saa Fairtrade ni ebi akoko 1 acre yɛnya ebi 2 bags but ɛnam good agricultural practices yɛde yɛ adwuma no nti no na wɔn kyerɛ ne yɛn so yɛde yɛ adwuma sɛ deɛ sɛfa tɛ ne nti no ɛnɛ koko 1 acre kora kuani bi timi te sɛ baage bɛyɛ sɛ ɛnan anaasɛ ɛmna kosi nwɔtwe ne sɛ nti no aboa ama yɛ production akɔ soro ɛsan sɛ aboa ama yɛ production so akɔ soro nti no aboa ama yɛ setena mu yɛdie nso ayɛ dɛn apagya ɛnya training no so wɔn de ma yɛn no nyɛ ɛno nko ampo wɔn asa ama yɛ training a yɛasa de program bi a yɛfrɛ no additional livelihood ɛde abata ho sɛ nyɛ bere nyinaa ne koko no betumi aso nti wɔn ama yɛn so akyerɛ kwan yɛfa so dua abɛɛfo baedua a yɛtumi so de bata ho nti sɛ basa yɛ koko no nso yɛtie no ne yɛnya bayerɛ nso a yɛn nso yɛdua bata ho ɛdi tɔn bi nso ɛde atua yɛn mma de a school fees nti aboa ama yɛakɔ anim wɔ ɛku adwuma aboa ma yɛasitama sikasɛm so ayɛ den apagya.
Today we want to look at Asunafo Cooperative Union. Our journey so far this year, we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, and so we want to take a look at the journey of Asunafo, what we do as a cooperative union, who we are, the people we work with, the achievements we've been able to make within the 10 years, and then also we look at our impact stories among our members, their community, and then the municipality as a whole. Yeah. So at the initial stage, the union started with 1,052 members, but currently we are operating in 67 communities within the Asunafo North municipality with 9,541 membership. So out of that, we have about 45 of them being female and then 55 being male cocoa farmers. All our members are cocoa farmers. In the union, we have 12 executive board. They are also cocoa farmers from the individual societies. So they oversee the activities and then also liaise between the members and then our partners. We also have about 25 permanent staff that support the union board to carry out our activities. As a union, our vision is to become a vibrant, diversified, and self-reliant union that advocate for enhanced socio-economic well-being of our farmers. So all we are looking at to enhance the economic well-being of our farmers, to make sure at the long run our farmers have a better life of living through diversified means. And then also we want to make sure our farmers are self-independent, and then in the near future they can also decide for their production, they can decide for the price for their production, they can be independent in many ways. Our mission as a union, one is the union, we are committed to the production and sales of quality ethical cocoa beans sustainably. So as a Fairtrade certified group, we are looking at producing cocoa, not just any cocoa, but quality beans. And then also here, when we talk about ethical, it's obeying all the human rights due diligence, and then making sure our children are well protected. There's no form of abuse, whether child abuse or vulnerable abuse in the cocoa production chain that we fit in. And then also we look at ways farmers can produce in a sustainable terms. So we look at environment and then all other connections, making sure that their production are sustainable. And then we also look at building the capacity and pursuing diversified initiatives to enhance the long-term viability of the union and its members. And the third one, we also want to influence decisions that affect the socio-economic status of farmers in Ghana. So in the near future, we want to see a cooperative that can influence policies and decision makings from the government to help improve the lives of our farmers. As a union, we are working with two major sourcing partners. The first one is Mondelez International. We started a relationship with them in 2012, 2013 when they started paying premium to us. And they are working with 41 communities with 7,704 members. And then in 2019, we started working with Tony Sukuloli from Netherlands, who is also working with the 26 communities with 1,837 members as well. As a union, our key area of development, one is we look at increase the production of quality and ethical cocoa beans, as I've already discussed. And then what we also do in our year-long activities, also we look at youth development, because we see youth as part of the sustainability goal. If you want our production to be sustainable, then we have to also look at involving youth in the supply chain. So in all our activities, we make sure it improves on youth development and their involvement in the cocoa value chain. We also look at women empowerment and then livelihood support. So every year we have programs, training programs, livelihood support programs to empower our women financially and make sure they take up roles and then positions in their community and then in the union as well. And then also we work in communities. So every year we make sure we give back to the community through community development and other social interventions. Then also as farmers, we look at ways and measures to make sure we don't have much negative impact on the environment. So we pursue environmental sustainability measures. And then we also develop the financial status of our members through the VSLA, that is the Village Savings and Loans Associations, and then also a credit union. So now we are looking at what we do as a cooperative farmers. As I said earlier, we are solely cocoa farmers. Yes, our farmers have other crops they grow, but our focus is mainly on the cocoa. So what we do as cooperative is, one, we give trainings to our members, moving from good agricultural practices, financial management, child protection, and many other trainings. And then also we look at farm management. It's our core mandate to manage our farms. So we deliver essential services to our members to make sure their farms are doing well. And then at the members level, they also do the harvesting, breaking of pod, fermenting, drying, and then selling of the cocoa beans. So as a cooperative farmer, this is the key mandate of each farmer. You do your farm management, the harvesting, breaking of pod, fermenting, to the selling of the beans. That is where we end in the supply chain. So the first picture on my left, it's one of our on-field trainings, particularly on pruning, that we give to our members. And then the farm management is the picture at the left, and then of course that is the outcome from all the good practices we've been doing in our farms. We look at increasing yield. And then also we do the harvesting, as I said earlier, at the top left, and then breaking of the pods, the fermenting, and then we also do the drying. So the last point is where we sell to any LBC that we deem fit. So as a cooperative also, every year we receive premium from our partners. So aside the cocoa price that is being given by the government, every year our partners support us with premium from Fairtrade, from Cocoa Life as well. So as whenever we get our premium, we also look at how we can invest to make sure our visions and our missions are being achieved. So now we will take a look at the project so far we have been able to undertake. So we want to look at education. When you come to Asunafo, we've invested much of our monies into education because we realize we work with rural areas. And in such places, it's very difficult to get a good infrastructure for education, and then also other needed structures that will enhance the educational system in the community. So we look at constructing schools. So far we have about 26 schools, ranging from 2-unit classroom to 6-unit classrooms within our communities. So all these, the 4 are pictures from our school infrastructures in our communities. And then also, not just the school infrastructure, just the school building, we also look at providing other ways. So the first top left picture is a computer lab in one of our communities. We are yet to bring in the computers and other accessories, but the structure is ready for use. So, and then we also have teachers' quarters. So far we have about 8 to 9 teachers' quarters in our communities. And then also every year we look at those at the primary level. So we distribute exercise books to these students, and then so far we have been able to distribute about 140,000 exercise books. We started about 3 years ago, and we've been able to distribute 140,000 exercise books. And then as a union, we also having this impact of climate change as well. So these 2 pictures is currently what we are facing in October, where we are supposed to harvest the best beans. But this is what we are seeing in our farms. We have floods, we have a lot of diseases, which is not really expected in this season. But this is what we are looking at, and then we are hopeful as world leaders are about to do this COP26, there will be better ways to improve our environment so that this impact will be minimized, if not taken away at all. So this is currently what we are seeing in our cocoa farm. And then also with all our projects, we've been able to grab about 2 awards. We are looking forward to the 3rd one this year. The first one was in 2019 as the most formalized cocoa cooperative by Ghana Cocoa. That is during the Ghana Cocoa Awards. And then the second one in 2020 was from Fairtrade International as a small producer organization of the year, the best small producer organization in the world, not just in Africa.
Yeah. Bonus, first one, you must be a member of the union. You must pay your monthly dues and attend meetings. And also you must bring all your produce to the union before you're entitled to the bonus. Also TDC, Trade Development Center, also helping us. It's one of our stakeholders. And it's also into trainings, marketing trainings and financial trainings. With our premiums, not necessarily that Fairtrade give us premiums. The premiums are given to us by our clients, our buyers. Yeah, the moment they buy the cocoa, they also pay the premium, the Fairtrade premiums. Yeah, paper premiums are additional monies that the buyers, Fairtrade buyers, give to farmers to improve their livelihood, aside the price of the cocoa. For instance, right now the price of cocoa is 616 Ghana cedis, 616 Ghana cedis. Aside that, at the end of the year, the union pays 30 cedis as cash bonus to each member, depending on the number of cocoa bars the person brought to the union. So 1 bag is equivalent to 30 Ghana cedis. Like I said, if you bought kilos, 1 kilo is equivalent to 48 pesos. Yeah. You're talking about the premiums you have received. Yeah, so far, 2016-17, 57,600, the equivalent to 3,600 metric tons. And they took 2,700 as Fairtrade beans, and the rest went as conventional. So the 2,700 beans that they took as Fairtrade, they gave it a premium of 540,000 metric tons. With the premium, they pay $200 per ton. That was 2016-17. 2017-18, they took the same quantity as that previous year, 2,700. So they give us the same amount, $540,000 US. Last year, 2018-19, they took 2,603 metric tons and they give us $520,000. 2019-2020, they took 2,121 metric tons. We bought cocoa of 59,558 and they took 2,121 as Fairtrade beans. Therefore, we got Fairtrade premium of $510,000. Just last year, we bought 75,300 bags of cocoa, which is equivalent to 4,706.25 metric tons. And our buyers took 2,150 metric tons. So they paid 516,000 metric tons into our accounts as Fairtrade premium. What we normally do is in every year before the money comes, we do what we call a development plan. A Fairtrade development plan is like a budget, and it's a requirement in the Fairtrade standard that we must do. So the money is allocated. Some goes to trainings, some goes to administrations, some go to community developments, some goes to. We also buy agrochemical input, which will be free to the farmers. Our budget is $516,000. Yeah. So I can give you the breakdown of it. So just last year, the premium, it was like I said earlier, it was $200 per ton. But just last year, it's went to $240 per ton. So last year, they took 2,150 metric tons. If you multiply by 240, you will see that it will be $516,000. The General Assembly is the high decision-making body. After the General Assembly, you have what they call the board members. When the board members have a management committee, which comprises of the president, the vice president, the secretary, the treasurer, and the manager. They consist of the management committee. We call them the working committee. Yeah. After working committee, we have what we call IMS. In the IMS, we have the IMS manager, we have the IMS manager, documentation officer, and the field trainers. Yeah. We also have subcommittees. We have the environmental committee. Environmental committee are into environmental issues. They are taking care of environmental issues. We have the premium committee. They are in charge of the premiums. Yeah. They are in charge of every project, every premium. They are in charge. We also have the child labor and welfare committee. They are into child labor issues and welfare issues. And last committee is the control committee. The control committees are above all the committees. They are like auditors, internal auditors. They are the control committee.
According to 2020 World Bank report, employment in the agricultural sector stood at 28.4%. This included fishing, hunting, forestry, and farming itself. Now, global population is projected to reach 9 billion by 2050. The youth between 15 and 24 are also expected to reach 1.3 billion within that period. Now, it is very important, looking at these figures, that the youth are continuously encouraged to venture the agriculture sector to help with the productivity expected to grow in the future. My name is Prince Appiah, and thank you for joining us on Food Chain today. It's been a pleasure. See you next week.